I guess I better go ahead and live stream this tonight. It's not going to be an interesting show because unfortunately Nurgle is moving, and right now he's taking care of real life. As of right now, I'm going to probably try to substitute until he comes back. I don't know what to tell you guys other than the fact that there's been a lot of things going on. And I know that the show is not going to be that interesting tonight. There's going to be a lot of discussions. I'm going to see if I can get some people to come in. I know that most people are probably bored as hell. So I'm going to try to bring the show together and hopefully get some people to come in. I'm going to try to invite people through Google Hangouts to see how it turns out. As far as I know, the internet can totally see you now. Use your encoder. Now, I guess I'll try to be nice about this whole situation because a lot of people are talking about this issue, especially with what's going on with Twitch, especially the last few weeks. A lot of people are talking about the whole issue is that they are basically trying to avoid this situation as much as possible. But as far as I know, Twitch has really messed up harshly because the way they're treating the community as a whole, they're only treating a lot of people in a way that they basically are trying to be biased towards certain streamers that they don't like, and they do like certain streamers, and sometimes they treat those streamers in a different way separately than other streamers. Sometimes they would be lenient towards the streamers, sometimes they won't be lenient towards the streamers. And after reviewing certain things, a lot of people felt what she said was a bit harsh and I know that she was trying to be funny, but at the same time, a lot of people are doing that. Oh, hey, Mr. Monopoly, how's it going? Or Monopoly of the Gulf City. Yeah, thanks for showing up there. Now, a lot of people are talking about this whole Amaranth situation. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the video of what she said on YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can see it. Amaranth. Drop the N-bomb. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I could find that video in question where she said the N-bomb, because it's kind of crazy. And right now I'm just trying to show you guys the video of Amaranth saying the N-bomb. Let's see if oh yeah, I do have the video right here on my computer. Let's see if I could find it. Let's see, Amaranth. Oh, here it is. I'm going to open it. I'm going to try to play it. I'm going to play it for you guys. And since I do have the video, might as well just play it right now. Let's see if I could play it right now. Switch it over to Will Smith here.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Here we go.
Can we get some Pocky on the ethnic aisle? I guess I have that nigger store too now. Ramen. No, on some ethnic aisle.
Yeah, she kind of said that comment about the ethnic aisle. And it's kind of hard to determine whether she said it or not. But a lot of people are talking about this in a way, and it sort of kind of came out of nowhere. And I know that Amaranth was trying to be funny when she said this, because a lot of people are like literally reviewing this video.
Pocky on the ethnic aisle? I guess I have that nigger store too now. Ramen. No, on some ethnic aisle.
Yeah. And a lot of people are not happy with this situation with Amaranth, and it sort of kind of kind of made a lot of people like, whoa, what the hell? And a lot of people are not happy with it. And it sort of does kind of, do you have any guests? I wish I did, but unfortunately a lot of people are busy. I just do this on my own sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get routes to come in as soon as possible. So, yeah, Mr. Monopoly left. So I'm going to try to get this show on the road. Because I know that Routes probably doesn't like this show, but then again, I might just do it. Because this is called the BS Show, Nurgle Offline Part 2. How's it going?
Hello? Alright.
You alright? You look like...
Oh, I'm stoned as fuck. We're not streaming, are we?
Yeah. Don't worry,
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not like it's showing you or anything like that, so don't worry.
We're still in the invites, JT Vega.
Yeah.
Yep, we're here.
Okay, so who is here? I just see you.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're the-
I know.
You're the only one?
Yeah, I'm the only one.
I don't mean to say it like that. Oh my god, just you know.
This isn't an official Nurgle sanctioned event. Then.
Yeah, it's not an official one. I'm just taking over until.
I don't know like this.
You don't like it?
What? I'm sorry?
I said I don't like to be part of this. This is not an official Nurgle sanctioned.
I know it's. Not, I know. But then again, you know, I want to make sure. So, what's on your mind, guys? I'm just doing the whole BS show, Nurgle Offline Part 2. You might see the
Okay.
you might see the picture that I kind of cooked up of him being Chuck Norris with an LMG.
Okay.
Yeah, so you may have heard.
I'm in.
Did you hear? Did you hear
Alright.
there was another controversy on Twitch?
What?
Armoress said the N-word.
Who?
Armoreth, some streamer named Armoreth said the N-word on live stream,
There's no World 2 Nurgle music.
Okay.
and
I don't
she
know who
didn't.
the fuck that is.
She didn't get banned. It's this chick who's like a cosplayer.
Oh no, whatever happened to these hippies?
Jesus. I'm on your server. Yeah, his thing is he goes around killing hippies with a hatchet in GTA 5. Okay, Ralt, I'm in your server. I'm trying to find you.
Give me a second, I'll invite you to the motorcycle club.
Alright. So, wait. So, what did this wench... Oh, lovely. What did this wench do? She went and said, like, what? She swore on air or something?
Probably.
What did she say? Why did she get banned from Twitch?
She didn't get banned from Twitch. That's the weird thing.
I thought you said she got banned from... Wait, what exactly is going on?
She didn't get banned from Twitch.
Alright, so what's the problem?
Well, she said the N-word and got away with it. It was like
Okay.
another validity situation.
As long as you have the bounty, I can't fight you.
Alright, well, you know, hey, that's good on her then. Shit, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, there should be some punitive action, a suspension or a ban or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm about shit right now. People are just fucking assholes. Yeah, I jacked someone's ride to get to you and they put a bounty on me. A fucking NPC puts a bounty on me.
For doing what?
Gay.
Finally, Doku, you're here. I know this is not an official. This is not an official one.
Okay, I was just about to ask, what do we got on the docket, or are we just gonna shoot the shit?
Did you hear about Armorant?
Oh, damn it! I was watching It's a Gundam's video. Yeah, where she dropped the hard R.
Yeah, she said the whole. She was trying to make a joke about the Cotton ethnic isle.
Yeah, I heard about that. Honestly, when I saw people get so bent out of shape about that, and it's like, dude, you don't hear anybody bitching about rap music.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I found out is that she didn't get banned for saying the N-word.
Oh well, dude. In It's a Gundam's video, he already pointed out, like, according to Twitch, from Twitch support or Twitch staff, whatever the fuck it is, they already told her, like, yeah, those complaints get thrown out the fucking window. Like, It's a Gundam's 100% right. If you're one of the big, popular fucking streamers on Twitch, especially if you're a titty streamer, you can pretty much get away with murder and they won't give a fuck.
That's true.
Like, that's why Twitch is fucking garbage. But I mean, honestly, I don't care. Like, like it's funny to me.
Yeah,
like,
Twitch is kind of. I kind of laughed at it because it's kind of obvious that they are showing some internal racism right there.
Oh, and the thing is, Twitch is the fucking definition of a platform having double standards. Like, we can bitch all we want about Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. I know, right? But I mean, Twitch is so much worse when you see some of the shit they pull. Like, damn, dude, you think Google's bad?
Doku, shut up.
Yeah.
Doku, shut up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of.
I'm talking to Ralton Skype, and I'm trying. And I'm talking to you guys at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Fucking, I am playing GTA 5. Yes,
yeah.
I've got the touch.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about some stuff like the whole BattleTech.
Oh, I was waiting on that.
Yeah, did you hear what they did with BattleTech?
No, what?
They added
about BattleTech Worlds.
They added new goals for the
BattleTech.
The clan invasion thing, and I was kind of upset about it because it turns out that they added a new goal, which pissed me off because especially with the situation with Mech Warrior 5, they asked for 1 million. Let me see, where is it?
Where are you going so fast?
Let's see, 1.3 million for Mech Warrior Unleashed. Rendell Bills and Brent Evans team up with Russ Bullock and another team to co-op members of Piranha Games for several 4-player co-op modes and live stream in wholly anticipated Mech Warrior 5 computer game, which a lot of people are donating to that thing.
Yeah,
and most people just want the board game, but some people are kind of upset about the whole BattleTech. Some people are, and already it's at 1.4 million.
Oh, are you talking about that? What was it, like a stretch goal or some special tier or some crap you can donate to, and you get like? Yeah, I remember. I think Shandor brought that up to me. Was that the Shandor or Mildra? It was one of the two.
Yeah, because they kind of like put out the special
gang activity.
Already, they're trying to get their $2 million out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I like BattleTech. I love Mech Warrior. Been some of my favorite franchises since I was a fucking kid. But, dude, if you're gonna have a board game, just do something separate for the fucking board game. Don't make me shell out extra money for it. Like, especially if I don't want anything else on that particular donation tier or whatever the. It's like, yeah, it's. I don't know if it's just stupidity or if it's sketchy business practices.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to determine, and like I tried to bring it up last week because a guy made a video about this, and I had to agree with him on it because a lot of he's like a small YouTuber, and he pointed out that the way they're doing this is kind of shady.
Yeah, part of me wants to say, like, this is just lack of foresight, and it's like, dude, just make a separate thing for the board game. Like, there's plenty of fucking BattleTech and MechWarrior fans out there. They'll donate to that shit, too.
Yeah.
But it does seem suspiciously like trying to milk an already hyper-loyal fan base for extra cash. It's like...
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, it made me scratch my head, but I don't know if it's them being predatory or if it's just, you know... Hold on one second.
Yeah, sure. Babysitting.
Another bounty of $1,000 has been placed on you.
Same bounty. I came into a different server.
Yeah.
Cheap ass bounty.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
only...
And you probably heard the news that 8chan owner Jim Wilkins is facing summons to testify before the Congress. This is another thing, because the probe in the... Okay, so 8chan Jim Wilkins facing summons to testify before Congress, child porn probe in Philippines. The infamous image board 8chan is breeding ground for neo-Nazis and favored in place, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we heard about this. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that one. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is kind of... let's see, what do we have here? So what are you doing in GTA right now?
I'm waiting for my bounty to go down so I can get in the motorcycle club.
Oh.
You have it?
I gotta do these.
Yeah, stop playing
No, I'm
GTA.
talking to the group.
Yeah.
You stop playing it?
Yeah, I stopped playing it. It was kind of...
You know, you gotta be in it with, like, friends and shit. You can do
Yeah.
activities and shit together. It's really not fun with randos.
Yeah. Let's see here.
What? That bitch always in front of my goddamn club! How many times do I have to kill you? I'm sorry.
Let's see here.
Another club briefing you with
Okay.
clubs.
Here's something that I'm looking in. Disney flushes Fox development redirect strategy after a big Q3 loss.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Who that is?
Good.
Yeah, what's up, Leon?
Yeah.
Not much.
Oh, hello,
Just,
Leon.
So, Leon, anything new?
nothing really. Just working over the past week. And
Yeah, same here. All right, here's something I found out. Disney scrapped these movies: Assassin's Creed 2, Hitman 2, Magic the Gathering, Mega Man, Missile Command, Space Invader, The Sims, Dragon's Lair the movie.
Wait, they're making a movie out of Dragon's Lair?
Yeah, they've been making a movie out of Dragons.
But it turns out they scrapped it.
String them together.
Yeah, there's quite a bit we can talk about in regards to Disney.
Yeah, because it seems that they're more female focused.
It's not just female-focused bullshit. It's just Bob Iger being a dumbass.
No,
That's all it is. It's Bob Iger being a dumbass. He hires these diversity hires, and
it's generated by
and let's just give it a while before before Mickey Mouse kicks him off the thing. Before Mickey Mouse kicks him.
he from what I heard, the one of the family members does not like Bob Iger because of the way that they're doing business down there, and especially those who work down there. They're having to deal with a lot of problems.
Gang activity.
There's always horror stories when it comes to anybody working at Disney.
They treat their employees like shit. If Walt were to see what Bob Iger was doing, if Walt really was frozen, he'd probably break out of that ice and kick Bob Iger out.
See, the thing is, I'm not even going to... I know Bob Iger is the figurehead, and he should take the blame as the figurehead, because, that's kind of your job, is being the face as a CEO. But I don't even fully blame him for all of the problems. His greatest sin, in my opinion, is the fact that he just doesn't seem to give a shit, and he lets all his minions essentially run the fucking house. And it's like, dude, you're supposed to be the CEO. Like, it is your job to make sure your house is in order. But he just doesn't care, because the fucker's gonna resign a fucking billionaire in the next year or two anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if Disney does it. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, Disney isn't gonna let him get away with that kind of shit.
Honestly, I feel like the only reason he hasn't resigned already is because they haven't figured out who they're gonna replace him with yet. Which, normally would be the job of the fucking CEO.
You know what? I would say, I want to put on a thing if Bob Iger does resign. I want to make just to piss everybody off and go complete 180. I'm trying to think of someone that piss the SJWs off to put a CEO. Elon Musk.
It'd be funny if he did buy out. If he put his money into that, I would love to see him do it. And he'd be like...
Oh my... That would be fucking hilarious. Fucking Bob Iger resigns. Elon Musk takes over as CEO of Walt Disney Corporation.
Oh my god, that would be beautiful.
But here's
it would
the
be
good part
funny if
about
it was
it.
Donald Trump that became CEO because...
But here's the funny part about this. If he did, he would make Spaceland more interesting.
Yeah, he would.
Tomorrowland? Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I know.
No, have Donald Trump as the CEO and have fucking Elon Musk as the CIO.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Piss everybody off.
Oh, you know what would be so funny? It'd just be like, you know what? I'll resign for presidency. Give me a Disney make me CEO of Disney, and I'll resign.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But here's the thing that kind of surprised me. They scrapped it Assassin's Creed 2, which I understand why.
Well, the Assassin's Creed, of course, it was the first one was such a shitty movie.
Yeah, it was kind of weird though. But
it wasn't at all faithful to the source material.
Yeah, that's true too. It tried to be.
The thing I noticed in that article you read is all of the movies they scrapped, but Planet of the Apes, the Aliens franchise. What was the other one? Oh fuck! I think it was what? Shit! Planet of the Apes, Aliens. There's one other one I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but apparently they say they've got new plans for that, and then they're fucking rebooting Home Alone and.
Oh
God! I saw that.
That's gonna ruin.
And I was like, to think Home Alone 3 would have been the worst of the movie, and everybody thought Home Alone 3 would have been the worst, and now, guess what? Here comes Home Alone remake.
Yeah.
Well, I know both of you guys have been hearing me preach this for the past fucking year now, but God, if anybody is into finance, if you have a fucking broker or a brokerage account and you can trade options, short fucking Disney. Like, get a 1 year time decay on it, 1 year out, just short the fuck out of Disney.
You have to stop.
Yes, that's what I would do. I would, I don't even know what the hell Iger is smoking anymore to do shit like this. There's like, I don't know anymore with him.
I got nothing. And then also you got like the failure that is Galaxy's Edge. Their park revenue is down. Their sales when it comes to toys and merchandise is down. What? Star Wars is a dumpster fire. Marvel's a dumpster fire.
I gotta say this. I gotta say one thing is always my catchphrase, but yeah, I'm gonna say my catchphrase here. I gotta say one thing here. Galaxy's Edge. My whole family. We were about to make a family trip this summer, October actually, to go see Galaxy's Edge. But then we saw the prices of it and stuff and everything that they were doing, and it's like, oh hell no! It's they want a nickel. You have to pay like $1,000 just to get the whole experience. That's build the lightsaber, go to Disney, build the lightsaber, have fun. only the rich elite shits of California could do that. Not us average lower to middle class people. We can't do that. It's upper middle class and the elites. I get to have that kind of fun. It's like,
dude, I could go to fucking Busch Gardens for $300, get drunk as shit for 2 days, ride all the fucking rides, and come home with a freaking Stein that's made in Germany, and fucking, a few like handmade candles and shit and some other novelty items for, $300. Maybe 500 including hotel and gas costs. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, I could spend a week at Glacier, stay at their nicest hotel for the price it would cost for 1 day at Galaxy's Edge.
God, I really want to know who is actually making these decisions. I really don't think it's Bob Iger.
And Glacier is an expensive place to go to. It's like, and when I say you could spend almost a week there at one of their more fancier hotels, I mean it.
Star Wars went woke. Now they are broke.
And the thing is, they're doubling down.
That's from Mr. No Monopoly for you.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say Star Wars. I'm gonna watch the new one just to watch it. I don't think JJ is a bad director or anything. I mean, heck, all the YouTubers that stayed neutral on episode 8, Last Jedi, all said it. Last Jedi was a terrible movie. They all said Rian Johnson only wants to do it just to split the fan base, and he gets a kick out of that. And those who are defending it are literally defending a man that wanted to split people in half anyway. So,
yeah.
And you know what? I don't think I'm gonna say it like this. JJ is a lot of things, but he's not Rian Johnson. So I'm not gonna say Rise of Skywalker is gonna be a horrible movie, but I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a good movie either.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, Disney's fucking dead to me. What do they have? Like, okay, The Rise of Skywalker. All right, I'm not going to pay money to go see you try to salvage a franchise you already burnt to the fucking ground anyways. I've got no interest in the MCU anymore. I know what the fucking comics are doing. The second I saw Love and Thunder come out, it's like, oh, hell the fuck no. And you think I'm going to fucking buy your goddamn streaming service? Fuck no, I'm not. Like, what the hell are you guys thinking?
I have to get it because of my mom, because she wants it, so I'll get it for her. But the only thing I'm gonna watch for it is The Mandalorian, because Jon Favreau is an actually competent director. He's the only competent thing that's working for Disney right now. Who'd have thought Happy would be the only competent thing in that entire company?
Guys, are you actually streaming right now?
Yes.
I had no idea.
He doesn't tell. Sorry, Roman.
Yeah, I did say I was streaming.
I didn't hear it because everybody starts talking at once and I can't hear. And
what was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Ramen.
There you go. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and again, what is up with the reboots? Like, I think it was either John Talks or Clownfish, or I don't even remember who the fuck, because everybody's talking about fucking Disney in that realm of YouTube. But they are creatively bankrupt. They have no fucking good original ideas. Like, it's pathetic. The only good thing I can say though, Haley Bailey, when asked about all the not my Ariel stuff on Twitter, everyone, all of you comics pros, fucking Brian Roundhead, fucking I'm a Dick Johnson, the fucking Love and Thunder director, look at the way she fucking talks. She said, I don't pay attention to the negative bullshit. Like, I'm just happy to have this opportunity. It's almost like a dream come true. Whatever. That's how you're supposed to act as a professional. Not sit there and fucking blame the fans and troll them and say, I'll destroy your mythos, baby. All that crap. No.
Yeah, but then again, I have a feeling everybody says, oh, Rian Johnson's still going to direct. No, he's not. I don't think they're going to ever... Bob Iger and the rest of the imbecile blue-haired dumbasses at Disney are a lot of things, but But if
They're not
if,
retarded.
Like, if the shareholders smell that Ryan Johnson's going to screw with one of their investments, they're going to literally say, "Iger, deal with them, or we're ousting we're gonna put someone in that'll oust all of you."
Okay, guys, I got too much going on here, so I'm gonna go.
All right, later, Rob.
No, not you, Rob. Okay, bye.
What?
Alright. No, it's she was talking to Rouse playing a game.
Okay.
But no, if you want to piss off everyone, SJWs, conservative, libertarian, Democrat, like just piss everyone off, make Trump the CEO, make Elon Musk the CIO, and make the chief financial officers the Koch brothers.
Oh.
Everyone will lose their fucking minds. I would actually probably pay $1,000 to see that.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one.
I just don't even know anymore with a lot of these people.
And I've stopped trying to psychoanalyze the idiocy. It's clown world. We might as well just laugh and have fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm going full on nihilist. I'm taking the black pill.
Did you hear about the Borderlands situation? I'm gonna change the
Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to look into it, but I heard.
Yeah, they terminated his videos.
Some guy,
They copyright struck them, and didn't they send, as everyone's calling them, two quote-unquote goons over to his house or some shit?
Yeah, they were private investigators asking questions, and
what the hell does that make people? Gearbox, what the hell are you smoking?
and already
I thought the biggest mistake that those dumbasses ever made was Colonial Marines, and then I thought it was that whole Gamergate song, and then the playing card tricks at the reveal. I thought all those were their worst mistakes. This has to trump it, because all it's going to make people do is like, oh God, I ain't touching that thing with a 10-foot pole.
yeah,
now.
and it caused a hashtag that happened. Boycott Borderlands 3.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? Ours or theirs?
Their fault, because
Yeah.
because the guy even made a video about it and said that he was taking a break from this and disappearing, because he's basically saying that because he was scared. It sounded like he was very afraid.
Yeah, and they should be freaking investigated.
Because
I mean, dude,
I'd be
kind of concerned. Well, real quick, I'd be kind of concerned too if you have a fucking video game developer / publisher sending private investigators to your house. Like, bro, that's some mafioso shit right there.
Yeah, because right now it's like a lot of people are not happy with the situation with what they did. They took action against him. Because if Jason Schreier did this,
If they did that to Jason Schreier, Gearbox people would have been the what is his name again? The head of Gearbox. I can't think of the dumbass's name right now.
Who?
The YouTuber?
No, the CEO of Gearbox. The dipshit.
I keep forgetting his name too. It's like it's on the top of my head. It was.
I honestly do not remember.
Yeah.
But
Routes is not here.
No, they're playing a game.
Yeah,
I saw the game they're playing in.
Yeah, they're live streaming it right now, I believe, right?
You're asking the wrong person. Don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, me either. And the fact that they went this far to basically try to do this stuff, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand reprimanding somebody for breaking like a non-disclosure or some sort of TOS or contract that you signed.
But he didn't get a non-disclosure agreement on this. He basically got it from a live stream from Twitch, and they were privately doing this, and he got the screenshots from it.
Well, the plot thickens.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's some crazy. I'd be scared too. That's fucking creepy.
Yeah, and of course they got upset with him for leaking that information out there, and according to, I actually had to read the article from The Verge on this one, that they made this excuse about this, and it's like, let's see here, because I'm looking at the article right now. I'm looking at it. Let's see here. They said, and I quote. And this is what they said about what. Let's see if I could find it. Here it is, the quote that I need to find. Okay, let's see here. He basically said, prompted blah blah blah. Okay, this is what they said. The 2K representative declined to comment on whether the private investigators contacted by its parent company were indeed sent to Submano's house, and said 2K representative told the Verge the company it will take necessary actions to defend against leaks and infringement of our intellectual property that does not potentially impact our business and our partners. The information he was sharing about the situation is incomplete and some cases untrue. The representative said not only were many of his actions illegal, but they were negatively impacting the experience of other content creators and our fans anticipating for the game.
So you sent 2 private investigators to the dude's house. What? No, normally you hire PIs if you suspect like foul play or adultery or fucking child abuse or some shit. Y'all did it over fucking some guy who took clips out of a fucking Twitch stream and put it on YouTube. That's that's some next level shit.
And that right there, like I've been saying, that all that's gonna do is make people say, you know what? I'm not gonna play Borderlands now. And I agree with them. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole now because of just the shit that they just did. You don't send private investigators to their house.
And Norwegian guy in the chat.
So what's up?
I think Nurgle's moved in. I just don't think he has his computer and everything set up to stream, so we're just kind of doing this impromptu.
Yeah, let me go. You want to link it to him?
I'll send it, Norwegian. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Yeah, and I get they're third-party hires, so they might as well be private investigators.
Yeah.
And I get corporate investigators and espionage and stuff like that, dude, but still, you sent them to the guy's fucking house. Like, don't you think that's a bridge too far?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, but it hit YouTube, it hit Twitter trending.
Yeah, but I still think the boycott thing is kind of stupid, like, but I get it. I understand, but eh.
I do agree.
Yeah, it's one of those weird situations where it's like, guys, this isn't a good look. Like, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this?
Let me go ahead and put it on Discord.
Oh my god, I'm looking at these people
I can't
defending
believe
this
it.
shit.
That
and
car
it's
brought
just-
his karaoke machine.
Oh my god, it's hilarious. They get destroyed every
No,
time you try.
I can't believe how easy it was to say with Geico.
Tim Sweeney,
I
that's what the shit
believe
his
it.
name is.
Oh yeah, God. Every time I hear his name, I can't help but fucking chuckle. It sounds like something out of a bad '80s movie. Sweeney, pay attention.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was my audio issues.
But I mean, I'll play devil's advocate. I can understand them wanting to protect the intellectual property, especially one that's, as popular as Borderlands. I get it, but it's like, guys, just sent not one but 2 people to this guy's personal address over something that happens all the fucking time in the video game industry. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's something we can point and laugh at least, so I'll tip the hat to that.
Yeah, Sweeney needs to hire a PR guy, according to.
No, they're freaking done. I don't think that's not how you handle the situation right there. What they did, but I don't know.
The oblets situation. I'm just okay. So Norwegian guy is asking about that, right?
Oh, I keep hearing about this, but I am horribly uninformed.
The Oblit situation is basically a lot of people are upset with them, and of course there was some issue with the situation with them PR wise. Someone claimed that they said some things, and it turned out to be false accusations against them, especially screenshots of them saying negative things to their customers. And
sounds like your typical day at CNN.
Yeah, but the funny thing was, it was sort of why would they do that? Well, they did the cardinal sin of going to announcing that they are planning to go to Epic Game Store.
Yep.
Oh.
And the controversy probably hurt the fans, were devastated. They probably were like, oh my god, they're going to that terrible store. And
I mean, seriously, how could they not? I don't even know. What the hell are they smoking in order to pull shit like this?
And it kind of was unexpected because a lot of people were not happy with that situation.
This kind of just reaffirms a long-running theory that I have about a lot of video game developers and publishers. I'm not even going to bring journalists into that because they can go fuck themselves. But they are completely out of touch with what's going on in the gaming community, with their user base. Like, I don't think they understand. Like, you guys need to take a step back from the coder, game developer, graphics designer, concept art, CEO, CFO mindset, and get back into the mindset of, okay, as a gamer, what would I want to see from a developer? Not the other way around.
Well, the problem with that is basically that when the gaming industry became huge and you had Nintendo. Nintendo has always been sort of like, they're a big corporation, but they understand what their fans want. Most of the guys at Nintendo have worked there ever since the company started, and it's been, and you can tell that they put their heart and soul into a lot of their games. The big Western, and this is mainly Western publishers who do this shit, and I'm sorry to say, mostly American publishers.
You're not wrong. You're 100% correct on that.
No, I'm just saying, EA, for instance, is the big baddie, but EA became a victim of its own success, because I remember back in the early 2000s, they made some amazing games. We had, the beginning of the 2000s were amazing. You had Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, some amazing games coming up from EA. And then things started to take a turn for the worst. But this didn't happen until very recently. This didn't happen until, I believe it was 2010, when things started to go a little out of control. That's when we saw 2010 and onward. From 2010 and then we had Mass Effect 2, which was a celebrated game. Everybody loved it. But then came Mass Effect 3. And there was a ton of controversy. You had the ending controversy. You had the pre-order DLC controversy. And that was just the beginning of the nightmare for EA. It's been downhill ever since. And I think they're at this point now where they're seeing the profit margins drop to a certain level that they actually have to do something drastic. And it's not just video games. It's every big major corporation. Even Disney now is losing money. And it's people are not going to put up with this for far too long. Take a look at what's happening at the Disney parks right now. Attendance is way down in the summer. And it's that's crazy. Florida should not, the Disney World and Disneyland should not have low attendance in the summer. It should be packed, but it's not. And the reason for that is that Disney got greedy. They have priced themselves out of the middle class market and have these ridiculous ticket prices. When it comes to gaming,
lower class. Disney used to be in the lower to middle class. And
not anymore. I think it's 250.
Because I used to go to Disneyland.
It's $250 last time I checked. I spoke to a friend of mine who was recently there. He went to the Star Wars thing, He said it was the most boring exhibit ever. It's basically just one big merch store.
Yeah, and I
There's no-
saw Nerdrotic's live stream. It took him like less than 10 minutes to walk through pretty much the entirety of everything.
Yeah.
It
And also, they've completely failed to capitalize on the nostalgia. And basically, like, they have this new place in Star Wars that is called the Spire something. It's completely new, and they had to. And they even wrote a comic book surrounding that station that they were supposed to be making in Galaxy's Edge. Here's the thing: why the fuck didn't they do Tatooine? Why the fuck did they do parts of Naboo, familiar places from Star Wars that people actually recognize? No. We're gonna do this totally unknown place from Star Wars that nobody's ever heard about.
Dude, Hoth base. Like seriously, you're in Cali and Florida. Hoth would be the perfect fucking setting to do it. Like, why? Why didn't you?
Well, if they ever open up Disneyland in Norway, I expect Hoth to be built right where it was shot. They actually did shoot it here, by the way. The Hoth scenes were actually shot here in Norway at a glacier.
Damn, I didn't know that.
No, they were. There was actually one of the local news anchors for the biggest TV for the biggest news network in Norway. He was an extra in Empire Strikes Back.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
And he still gets letters from fans all over the world asking him to sign shit because he was in a scene for less than 20 seconds.
Well, that just goes to prove how dedicated and fervent the Star Wars fan base truly is, which makes me wonder.
How did
you have to have yeah, exactly. You have to have a special talent to fuck that up. Like,
the only thing that I'm looking forward to right now with Star Wars is The Mandalorian. That looks incredibly cool. I saw the leaked footage from, I believe it was Comic-Con, where they showed the leaked footage from last year, and it looks amazing. It looks like Star Wars, and it's Dave Filoni, the Clone Wars guy, who is behind it, and that's why a lot of fans are optimistic, because Dave Filoni is revered by Star Wars fans after Clone Wars. So,
at this point, he's the only person that could actually make the money.
Yeah, and but it's like, you take a look at what Disney's been doing. It's not. I think it's safe to say that Disney has gotten completely creatively bankrupt. You take a look at the shit they've been releasing lately. Christ, what is it? It's remake after remake, and now they have confirmed that they will be doing a Home Alone reboot. Yeah. That's totally what people want to see. No.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
I was kind of
stop.
I was kind of disappointed that they didn't want to make the another video game movie.
See, the thing is, it's not that I would even be disappointed to see another Home Alone. It's when you say we're doing a reboot or like a reimagining. It's like no, please, no. It's already a childhood classic.
And I can imagine them trying to replace it with a black kid.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Somebody suggested they should hire the guys that supposedly beat up Justin Smollett, 2 Nigerian guys wearing hats.
Oh my god, that'd be freaking awesome.
Home Alone 2, but set it in Chicago instead of New York.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
The first Home Alone was set in Chicago, wasn't it? Wasn't it in a suburb of Chicago? It was in Illinois.
Yeah, it was. Okay, we've decoded the puzzle. The Home Alone reboot's going to be set in Chicago, starring Jesse Smollett. Or found the national treasure.
Or just do the whole R rating shit. Just have Joe Pesci be Joe Pesci from Goodfellas.
Yes!
Let the man swear. Let the man
swear.
Oh
my god, yes. Joe Pesci from Goodfellas Casino. Oh my god, yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You let me bust his effing eye out for this.
Let me see.
You break your effing eye out for this.
So, Star Wars, you're right about one thing. Star Wars isn't making much money because already
it's not.
Yeah.
Even Disney actually had to report. These meetings are public, so they can't hide it, because of their investors. But apparently, merchandising sales are so low that toy stores won't even stock this shit anymore. It's like stuff they announced. They had this limited edition action figure coming out. I forget which character. It wasn't one of the new ones, and that was really surprising. But people ain't buying. And here's the thing, kids are not really into Star Wars anymore. I have to admit, I think part of the reason is that Star Wars is loved by a certain group, two generations. People who are millennials now and people who were their parents. Millennials and their parents loved Star Wars because they grew up.
Millennials,
yeah. Because the problem with that is that you are trying to appeal to. You need to throw the older fan base a little bit of a bone in order to keep them interested, and they completely failed at that.
Well, and here's the one thing I noticed, and I didn't mind Force Awakens. I actually quite liked Rogue One. Last Jedi I still think is complete trash. But the thing I noticed about the older Star Wars movies and the newer ones, and this speaks to how soulless and creatively bankrupt that Disney truly is it was just The Force Awakens was just a rehashing of A New Hope, except it kind of tried to tote that line between being mature enough that people in high school would like it, but still kid-friendly enough that somebody in the 5th grade would go watch it. Which, I'm sorry, anyone who watched A New Hope, it didn't matter what age you were, it could appeal to everyone. Disney just can't pull that off because they're corporatist. They're all about the money. They're all about nostalgia. They're creatively bankrupt. I mean, shit, hire any of the fucking Star Wars YouTubers to go write your next script, and I guarantee you, it'll have that same kind of lightning in a bottle effect.
Like I said, the Star Wars theory, the biggest one out there, called out Rian Johnson and his film and stuff. He's been calling out. He's like, "It can't get any worse than Last Jedi." Is basically how he always says it. It can't get any worse than Last Jedi.
Well, it's really.
But Kathleen Kennedy saying, "Hold my beer."
It's really interesting to see that most media outlets now are sort of seeing where the wind is blowing, because I've seen a lot of negative press surrounding Disney and Star Wars lately, and it seems like there is a bit of a problem. I mean, we've been saying this for quite some time, that there's been a lot of problems ever since The Last Jedi. There's been a lot of problems with Disney and Star Wars. But I want to point out this: I really hope I'm not going to be one of those people who say that I hope that Rise of Skywalker fails. I don't hope it does. I actually hope it succeeds. I hope Abrams managed to pull a rabbit out of his hat, but I'm not sure he's going to do it because there's just so much negativity. Some people have said we just want to get this trilogy over with so we can have new stories. And that seems to be the common consensus from a lot of people. I mean, it's already been confirmed that Daisy Ridley is never coming back to Star Wars, ever. And, she's done with the whole fucking thing.
Honestly, can you blame her, though?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. She's not getting roles either. She's not doing well.
She got Mark Hamill.
Yeah, so one actor. Here's the funny part: the actor that has actually gone on to do a lot of cool stuff is actually John Boyega. He's actually turned out to be a pretty decent actor. I saw him in the movie Detroit, which is about the riots in the '60s. Mm-hmm. He plays a security guard in that movie, and he does a perfect he sounds like a real. He actually pulls off.
He's British.
He pulls off a very convincing American accent. He's really good at what he does. But problem is that Daisy Ridley is not a good actress. She really isn't. And she's gonna get typecast, and she's probably gonna end up like Keira Knightley when all the hype was surrounding her, and she only got roles in like costume dramas and shit.
You know what I gotta say about Daisy Ridley? Yeah. From what I've seen about like the controversy surrounding episode 9 with the original director, she had a tantrum from the stories I heard, or close to a tantrum. She had this like crying tantrum basically about the script, about what they're doing with Rey. This girl has the ego of John Cena, basically, of Hulk Hogan. Well, she has such a heightened ego. She thinks her shit doesn't smell, and from all we know, like going back to Home Alone, what happened with Macaulay Culkin after Home Alone 2? Yeah. But
he was a kid. Yeah, but he was a kid. And Daisy Ridley is a fucking adult. You know,
But that's what I'm trying to say, though, is it's the same thing, though. Hollywood doesn't give a care if you're a child or an adult. You're going to get screwed over.
Well, the thing is that Disney has also made another huge mistake with their streaming service coming in November, because in the US, everybody gets the Mandalorian series on November 12th, while us who live in Europe and other places around the world will have to wait until next year. So not only are they postponing the European release, the worldwide release of Disney Plus, but they also are basically sending everybody who wants to watch The Mandalorian to private illegal streaming sites.
Oh, speaking of which, I gotta bring up something here. It's out of random. Did you hear that Jim Lee is trying to make a Wildcats movie?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, Jim Lee, as in the guy who did the creator of Wildcats. Yeah, he had to say no one. He said no one is more bummed than me to hear the postponing of the launch of Warren Ellis. You may be familiar when he said this in July 31st. Wildcats and numerous scripts Warren has turned in are just fantastic. Trust me on this. Once we work out the kinks in the schedule, the artists will launch a new soon Wildstorm. Hashtag soon in Wildstorm.
I don't care about Wildcats, but that's just me.
Because Warren Ellis is the guy who produced it and also was the creator of Castlevania on Netflix.
Well, there's only one movie I'm actually really looking forward to right now, and that is Top Gun Maverick. I'm so looking forward to that fucking movie.
How misogynistic of you.
Yeah.
Yes,
it does look damn good though.
Yeah, I've been flying. I'm a flight sim addict, and I've been flying in the DCS combat simulator. I've been flying the F-18 Hornet in there, and I even have a Tomcat. It's the most realistic combat simulator ever produced. You really have to learn every single flight system in order to understand how to use the damn airplane. But I love kind of stuff like that. So, oh man, I've been flying it. They even have the Top Gun paint job for the F-14 Tomcat, which I love.
That's badass.
Just turn on this cheesy '80s soundtrack from Top Gun and sit down and play that game, and I'm gonna be incommunicado for a few hours.
Yikes!
Honestly, I've always wondered why no one has ever decided to make a Robotech, or for the purists out there, Macross combat flight sim.
They tried, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think there was one back in
in
90.
90s. Yeah, it was on PlayStation, the original. But it's hard.
Yeah, I feel like if you really want to do a nostalgia cash grab and you want to target the millennial generation, dude, make a fucking Robotech combat flight sim. Like, you'll make some decent money. It'll be a cult classic. Just don't try to half-ass it.
Yeah. My sister came back from Australia, and she told me there was something about what happened in Australia. China got upset about some weird stuff, like they sent their Navy ship over there.
Oh yeah, they had there was an espionage ship, and it was close off the Australian ports because they were trying to, I believe they were trying to determine the capacity of that particular port to house, refuel, refit Navy vessels.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Australia and China is basically the fact that the Australian government has been kissing China's ass for so long, but until one of the parliamentarians was basically sounded the alarm and said we really should not get that close with China. And
there was a big scandal that I heard that happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know if you followed what's going on in Hong Kong at the moment, but I almost went to Hong Kong in July, but I changed my mind because I was warned by friends to stay the fuck away. It's every foreigner entering the country is really heavily checked.
Yeah, there was also something that happened in Australia that happened in the colleges.
Yeah, it's not just Australia. It's mainland Chinese students versus other Chinese students from Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
The mainland Chinese students, they have this weird student union where it's essentially people who are there to monitor other Chinese students.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up, and they are allowed to do this in Australia, in the UK, and in America.
Wow, that's Orwellian as shit.
Yeah,
I feel like we should be talking about this more than Russia or anything else, to be honest. Because considering the actions that China's been taking over the past several years, they're pretty fucking aggressive. I know Russia likes to push the envelope a little bit, but they're not building fucking islands in the South China Sea and loading them up with fucking anti-aircraft and anti-ship missiles.
Yeah, you know what's even funnier? During the debates and stuff, after Gabbard destroyed Harris, everybody is like, Russian this or Russian that. How did
she's being accused of being a Russian puppet, which I found hilarious.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off when I heard that.
And basically, even Trump supporters who are a little skeptical of who is doubting Trump now, they're like, yeah, we kind of like this lady.
I'm not gonna lie, I've had my issues with Trump. I'm still not 100% against him. I have my problems with him. But when I heard Tulsi speak for the first couple of times, I don't agree with her policies, but I like the way she conducts herself, especially around her other constituents. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like her.
I'm gonna say like this. I know I don't like it political and stuff, but she destroyed Harris. There's no coming back for Harris after that.
I want to say this. I'm not going to comment too much on this until I have less than 4 candidates. Because right now it's a free for all. I want to wait until
is anti-gun according to Monopoly.
No.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they're Democrats. They have to pivot. But it's like, here's the thing. People who are worried about their anti-gun stance, first of all, they can't take away your guns. Second Amendment. So that's the worst thing they could conceivably do is probably the assault weapons ban. That was not a popular ban. I believe it was introduced into America. Then it was appealed. And now they want it back. I'm not sure that's going to solve the issue. Honestly, I think we need. I think you guys need. I think you got. But I will say this, just to get back on China for a moment. That's actually one of the few things I happen to agree with President Trump on. I think that he definitely should keep doing what he's doing with China. Don't let these bastards get away with anything. I'm more scared of Xi Jinping than I am of Donald Trump.
It's huge. China's huge.
Yeah, but I hope he doesn't back down, because
I don't
if he
think
But I also hope that he does it in a smart way, that he doesn't basically tank the economy in the process, because things are not looking good right now.
Yeah, he's playing a really
risky game.
Since I'm the econ nerd, he's playing a really edgy game with this. Like, on the one hand, there's 4 keys to the political trade game going on with China. The first thing is China pirating intellectual property, and the fact that there's a lot of electronics components that are built in China. That's a security risk. So that needs to be taken into consideration. The other thing is, ironically enough, we export more oil to China than we import from China. They're reliant on our oil, which there's already EU and US sanctions against Iran, and the Saudis, love them or hate them, they're on the side of the EU and the US, and they have the backing of both the EU, the US, and Israel. China's going to have to either play really nice with Russia and Iran, which is not going to be good. So when it comes to the oil trade game, that could easily lead to an armed conflict or a proxy war. So you got to be careful there. But the thing you can bribe China with is soybeans and lean hogs, because they import a shit ton of that from the US. That's the biggest bargaining chips we have. And Trump's already utilizing them.
But also one thing, having spoken to people who live there now, and it's like the Hong Kong situation also will play out in a very different way, because you have to remember 2 million people marched in Hong Kong. There are still demonstrations in Hong Kong right fucking now, and it's spreading to the mainland. Hong Kong used to be a part of Great Britain, right? So they have freedom of speech. They have everything most Western nations have. It's a special district in China. But in the mainland, the internet is censored, and a lot of and the justice system is questionable, to say the least. So now the protests are spreading to the mainland. Now, if Xi Jinping can't win with Donald Trump or get some kind of deal with Trump, then he's in a lot of trouble. So I hope Trump just keeps the pressure up, honestly.
And here's the other thing that I found out, that China gets overly sensitive when you talk about it or you make a joke about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're I thought, you know what, they have they're such spineless little bitches over in China. That entire country, I don't know what happened to China. Like, they used to be throughout history, they used to be one of the toughest empires out there. Now look at them. They're a bunch of spineless little cowards.
No.
Well, here's the thing. If you ever entered into an online match and a bunch of Chinese players come in, start yelling Taiwan #1, and holy shit, they will lose their fucking shit.
I want Taiwan. I'm from Taiwan. Down with China.
Yeah, because if you say that in, let's just say, League of Legends, you'll probably get banned because they're owned by Tencent.
That's why I don't play a League of Legends. That's why I don't touch anything with the 10-foot pole from China.
Also, I mean, there's been a lot of crazy shit's been happening. I'm just hoping things will calm the fuck down. I mean,
yeah. Did you watch? I gotta ask you a question. Did you watch that? I forgot what they're called. The Socialist Democrat Association.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I saw that.
That shit was fucking hilarious. To this day, I'm still laughing.
It was cringy to me because I did look at the live stream. Like, these people were literally like talking about trying to take over.
Yeah, but that was not even the funniest part about it. The funniest part about it is that they were basically having a semantics argument before they actually got to any of the issues.
I know, and it's like they wasted.
Don't use gendered language.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, if they think if these are socialists, because I've been in politics in Norway, and we have been accused of being socialist by Americans all the time. I can tell you this. If we acted in the same way as these fucking people did, we wouldn't get anything done.
I know. It's like, I looked at them and I'm like, I don't want to vote for these people. These people really are going to be arguing over themselves more than they are about other people.
There was a Russian guy that commented on it. He grew up in communist Russia, and he said, not even our communist government spent that fucking long getting shit done.
I know. And I'm just looking at these people going like, my God, these people are not going to fix America.
They're not going to. Here's the thing. Their entire political platform is, it's this, what they essentially are trying to say is like they want universal healthcare, which is fine. I'm in favor of universal healthcare. It works for us, So, but here's the thing: when they try to act, these are the far left fringes. These are people who really have completely misunderstood how the Scandinavian model even works. Because I heard one of them try to describe how we do things in Norway, and I don't know where the fuck this woman had gotten her information from, but that's not how we do things.
A child.
Yeah, because I'm
compare him to adults, because I'm sorry, but I would never compare these people to adults, because heck, they might even be 80 years old, but they still have the brain of a child.
I just don't understand where they got their information from, because they were they were quoting shit, and they were talking about Norway and how we did things in Norway, and I'm still listening to this going, no, that's not how we do things, you goddamn lunatic.
They got their information. I can tell you where they got it from. They got it from areas or places like The Guardian, Vox, Vice, BuzzFeed, people that don't know jack shit about economics or the history or the social structures of these countries that they're trying to quote and say, this is how we need to do things. Well, first off, that's not how it's done in Denmark, Switzerland, Norway. So you're wrong on that front. And second off, on a just base premise, Norway is not the United States. They're two completely different countries with two completely different governmental systems, completely different societal backgrounds and societal structures. They're not equatable. They're just not.
I mean, it's really. I mean, here's what I've been arguing for a long time. Whenever somebody in the U.S. asks me about universal health care, I say, I don't think it can be a federally mandated system because the country is just too big for that. What it needs to happen, I think, what can be done is a state solution, where every state has their own solution.
We have our own solution as it is. Like if the poor can't afford medicine right now, if the poor can't afford medical, they have a thing called Medicaid here.
But hold on. I know all this, but here's the thing. I think the biggest issue in America right now are something that even the president agrees with me on, even though he hasn't really done a great job in trying to prevent that, even though he said he would during the campaign. And that was the pharmaceutical industry's overpricing. I mean, $1,200 for insulin, that's fucking insane.
Yep. Yeah. And also, look at epinephrine, EpiPens. Some company bought that out and they jacked up the price by 100 or 1,000%. And so I look at it like they try to survive. They try to go after the most the most vulnerable. Everybody went after the whole Martin Shkreli thing, but I went like, he is just a small part in what the corruption of what these companies are doing. It's just one person that did that.
Doing price gouging on medications in this country and here in Norway, that would be completely illegal.
Yeah. Here's the problem, Norwegian guy. This is where it all started. It was the 70s and 80s politicians, and Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. It was the 70s and 80s politicians that passed.
It was Reagan. At least be honest about that.
No, yeah.
But it was a problem. It was the problem before Reagan. Everybody had a hand to play. Yeah, Carter, Nixon, Lenin, Reagan. They all had a hand to play in it because, again, Republicans, Democrats, they were all in some way, shape, or form corporatist. And the way that this was allowed to happen is through large corporate donations, mostly through nonprofits and super PACs. And that allowed corporate interests to start influencing politics. And so that's why you see massive fucking prices on a lot of these pharmaceuticals that then turn around and get government subsidies so they can make it cheap for the consumer, which they could just sell it a little bit above cost and it would still be fucking the same price, if not a little bit cheaper. It's all, in other words, it's essentially a way for them to funnel money out of the taxpayers and put it into the hands of corporatists. And it was allowed to happen. It was allowed to happen through, rhinos and corporatist Democrats, because those are the big ones at the time. Which, just to remind all of the liberals out there, Donald Trump, up until recently, used to be a corporatist Democrat, which is why I always keep a skeptical eye on him.
Yeah, I remember one thing that I really didn't like that Trump did, and this is not a liberal screeching about Trump argument. This is just an observation. Is when he basically handed control over the VA to his private interest people. That is where I got skeptical. I'm like,
that made me raise an eyebrow as well.
So I don't understand. Here, this is my question now, because I'm not as upset about Trump as I used to be, but I still have to ask this question. Why the fuck does working class Americans love this guy so much? He is fucking you over.
He still has. This is what sucks about American politics, is because there is no choosing the right guy. It's only choosing the lesser of two evils. Mm-hmm. So Trump still cares more about, as they call it, flyover country than any of the coastal elitists. At the same time, he still has certain backs he needs to scratch. Otherwise, he's going to lose a large amount of support because in part, those are a lot of the people that got him there. So I think he's starting to learn the hard way, and that's why you can tell over the past couple of years his rhetoric has changed. You can come in with the best intentions, but dude, you're talking about draining the swamp and trying to play the political game and fix everything. You're not going to be able to do that in 2 terms. You're going to have to hope that somebody comes up and takes the mantle and is a little more aggressive about it than you are, because if you don't play the game, you're out of the game.
Yeah, well,
It's that simple.
Obama did the same thing, according to Monopoly.
Oh yeah, what's fascinating to me about Trump and the current administration is basically the fact that he still has support from his base. But what's really odd is seeing what is happening to the Republican Party right now. I mean, there's been mass defections from the Republicans, and not to Democrats, but to independents. A lot more people are identifying themselves as independents, which I think is good for the political system in the U.S. Not to have people, be a part of this 2-party system.
I agree with you 100%, and I've been saying this for a long fucking time, and I've gotten flack from both sides and people who aren't even political. I can't buy into real quick. I can't buy into the idea of tribalism, but if you give me only 2 valid choices on the ballot box, again, you end up with this duality of the lesser of 2 evils. And you're going to get fucked one way or the other with that type of system. If you want to break out of this fucking duality that we have and actually go back to, a more restricted government and a more open free market that's not completely influenced by large multinational billion-dollar corporations and their special interest groups, you're going to have a third party that breaks that wheel.
I gotta say this though. Whatever happens in 2020 with the presidential election, this election will not be decided by either the leftists or the Trumpers. It will be decided by the independents. Those are the ones who will decide this election. So I'm really curious to see where the independents are going to swing on this, because there's a lot of skepticism right now. If Tulsi Gabbard becomes the nominee, I think she has a chance because a lot of people from both sides like her for different reasons. No, I don't think no way.
Nah, Yang doesn't have a chance.
No.
He's made quite a few gaffes here in the past, and Yang suffers from the same problem that Bernie does, where he can sit there and talk all of this shit, but he doesn't know exactly what he's talking about because he doesn't have a fundamental grasp on economics, and he's talking about demonizing the same fucking people that he's a part of. Like, Bernie, you're a corporatist. You have 3 houses. You have a yacht. You're part of the 0.1%. And you're over here talking how you're going to make life better for fucking Rust Belt America. No one's buying that shit.
And Andrew Yang is basically a technocrat yelling against other technocrats.
Exactly.
No, that was debunked. He's not. That's part is not true. But he's still I don't see that he has any chance at all, honestly. But like I said, when it comes to the Democratic primary, we will know more about this as we approach the end of the year and early into next year. I just want to get to June. And when the fucking Democratic convention is held, and just see who the candidate is at this point. But I'm not going to start making any predictions until I see who the last 4 candidates are. And I have a sinking feeling that the Democrats are going to make the same mistake they did in 2016. It's going to be Biden, which nobody really likes, and
I'm calling it right now, Carl. See if you agree with me. It's going to be Biden. It's going to be Biden. It's going to be Harris, it's going to be Bernie, and it's probably going to be Warren. Those are probably going to be the 4.
Oh, I am completely out of the loop. What's this about? Yeah, the Electronic Software Administration.
I don't think it was accidental.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, of course they are. Well, as far as I know, it was their screw up, and now they're blaming her for reporting on it. Okay. Yeah, they can. Well, they can kiss my ass because this was an ESA fuck up, and the ESA is not exactly popular among gamers right now. Um, I'm just waiting for news on the loot box bill. Yeah. It's what also. Speaking of video games, after the shootings in Dayton and El Paso, Republicans, and this is actually mostly from conservatives, I'm sorry to say, have been talking about banning violent video games and all that kind of shit. That shit is coming back with even the president talking about it. Yeah, it's a little weird seeing them come on the defensive for once.
Hey JT, check the volume on the chat. Monopoly's Monopoly's saying he can't hear us.
Yeah, because my mic, I had to set up my microphone. Let me go ahead and check to see. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah,
Testing,
no, this.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I think this whole thing with the ESA is. Honestly, I just think they fucked up and they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
I think so too, because they really messed up a lot. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Monopoly. I kind of turned off my microphone. That's what happened.
By the way, there's a new trend on different forum sites regarding all new game releases coming out until April. All games coming out until April 26th are while we wait for Cyberpunk games.
Oh, I was like listening to a report about some other Polish companies making a Cyberpunk game.
Now, I mean, there's been like the hype when it comes to Cyberpunk is through the roof, and
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if it is at PAX or at Gamescom, which is next week, I think.
Yeah.
At Gamescom, apparently they're going to release all the new footage that we didn't get to see at E3 this year.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a ton of new announcements because Gamescom in Europe have now have basically become the new E3. That's where a lot of announcements happen now for some reason. I don't know when that happened, but it's apparently because E3 is not as interesting anymore. So people have basically said, we're moving to Gamescom because it's more of a convention than a press racket.
Well,
Yeah.
E3 has slowly but surely hit that pinnacle of becoming sort of a soulless marketing chill, while at the same time still trying to be somewhat family friendly, but also at the same time trying to be political. It's the same crap that happened in the video games industry. It's happened to comics. It's happened to Hollywood. It's happened. I mean, Disney is the most egregious one when it comes to this. They might actually unseat EA as the most egregious piece of shit when it comes to corporations. You can't be corporatist, politically driven, and family friendly all at the same time. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't. Like, pick one.
Oh, I got it's really crazy to see how things are coming full circle now. Really, it's like a lot of the shit that we saw when we all first met and started to get together on streams, all the politically correct shit. We're seeing the backlash now, and hopefully next year at the beginning of the new decade, we can actually go back to some sort of normalcy. Because I feel this shit's been going on way too long now.
God, I hope. I mean, what was like 2 seasons ago in South Park when they were making all the PC principal jokes as the two redneck farmers, like, how long this shit last time it happened? I don't know, about 6 years. God, I hope they're right. I hope this shit has reached its limit, and the only time I have to hear any of this politically correct jazz hand, use my pronoun bullshit ends sometime within the next 2 to 4 years. Because damn, it's getting old.
Yeah, I mean it's a new decade, so I really wonder how that's gonna turn out.
Well, I want to use Battlefield as just an example for this.
Oh God!
If they want it to just be a historically accurate game, and that's what your fan base expects, don't get mad when you don't provide the product that your fan base expects. But at the same time, don't sit there and say, well, you're this or that or this or that because you didn't deliver a product that I was expecting to get delivered. Like, don't yank the frickin' rug out from underneath me and then get mad at me for fucking smacking my nose and breaking it. Like, that's bullshit. But if you offer me a game that has a female lead with a prosthetic arm, I'm not going to complain about it as long as it's a good game, and that's what I'm expecting. Like, don't pull a Dan and Dave and subvert my expectations for the sake of being politically correct.
I think one gaming stuff that is gonna one gaming trend that I think maybe will go away is Kickstarter, because there's been nothing but controversy regarding Kickstarter games lately. You have all the epic. I backed Shenmue 3, right? Then I get a mail from Shenmue. Oh, by the way, we're going Epic exclusive now, and I sent a mail back to them and said, hey, can I change my platform to PS4? And they were like, yeah, you can. We changed it for you. Because anybody who backed that game and wanted the physical edition were promised a disc-based PC edition that will work on Steam. We didn't get that. So I said, okay, if I can't have that, can I at least have a disc version when it comes to the PS4? And they said yes. So I got to switch my platform, luckily. But I still feel pissed that this happened.
Uh-oh, don't tell Temple.
Yeah, because right now Subverse is actually getting a lot of stuff, but they're still waiting. They're still waiting to develop the game, but all they're doing right now is trying to get voice actors, and they're still developing it.
Yeah, Elder Troll had bought the 69 edition, and he really wants it.
Yeah, and I already invested in a few Kickstarter games, and I hope they come out soon, because I already invested into let's see.
Well, I know what I've said about pre-ordering games, but I just wasted $300 on the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition. It's gonna be mine, damn it.
Yeah, I invested into Grand Guilds, which is coming out on Steam.
Yeah, I can't talk too much. I dropped $65 into Star Citizen so I could get my Avengers, and I also bought one of their T-shirts. But hey, at least I got the fucking T-shirt, and I can still play the test universe.
Only $65, huh? I think I invested at least $200.
Yeah, and I also bought this clone of Armored. It's called Mass Builder. It's kind of like a customizable mecha game, action game, which I thought was pretty cool when I saw it.
I mean, it's going to be a little quiet now until September, October, and November. November, there's one game in November that I'm really curious about, and that is Death Stranding by Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that game simply because it's Kojima and he's weird. I like his stuff. He makes games that have weird stories, and you know what? I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's refreshing from all the copy paste games we're getting, and I'm curious to see how Respawn is going to handle their Star Wars game. I hope EA leaves them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want.
Sure, good luck there.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to see reviews before I buy it.
So you're telling me you're tired of the Call of Duty and FIFA cookie cutter games, huh?
I'm not getting. I haven't bought Call of Duty since that one with Kevin Spacey in it. Advanced Warfare. That's a few years ago now.
Yeah.
I think it was. So I haven't played a Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. That's when I stopped playing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is getting old.
That series I did play Advanced Warfare series before.
The best Call of Duty is still Call of Duty 4.
Yeah. The best Call of Duty I would say out of the Advanced Warfare series was Part 2.
Yeah, I just really liked the first Modern Warfare. That game was fun. It's still fun to play, but then they started doing all the bullshit and also Activision.
Yeah, they tried so hard to try to make it like all sci-fi-ish and everything with their new Modern Warfare series, and it was just like I don't want it. I'd rather have Price in the series. Like, Price was an interesting character.
He's gonna be in the new game, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, they're rebooting Modern Warfare. So they're going back to contemporary military, modern military.
Yeah.
So, and the Twitter outrage mob has been in full swing.
Now what?
About the Modern Warfare, it's promoting toxic masculinity.
They always use that word.
By the way, wait until Top Gun comes out. Man, there's gonna be so much bitching. I can hear the articles being written in my head right now. It's like you can see the angry feminist sitting at the door. But here's what I hope Top Gun will do. I hope that movie succeeds on every fucking level and brings in all the cash. Because then we're going to see a new renaissance of movies like that. And I am
you and me both.
And I am all in favor of it. If Top Gun does well, we're going to see cheesy action movies again. We're going to see manly men doing manly things. And you know what? I miss those kinds of movies. Politically incorrect, cheesy, but still entertaining as hell.
You know what? Yeah. I'll cheers to that.
Yeah.
And since we're on the topic, this is relevant, but kind of an off-topic one-off. The guy that got the shot on Osama bin Laden, I saw somebody comment on this, which is how I found the Twitter thread. But he made a tweet, and I completely disagree with this tweet. Respect to the guy, but disagree with this opinion. He says, here's an idea. How about we ban first-person shooters? Stupid. Sorry, dude, that's not the problem. But the response to this is hilarious. One guy responded, "Who the fuck are you?" And he goes, "I'm the guy you pretend to be in your video games." It's like, oh. From the SEAL who is the one who pulled the trigger on Osama bin Laden. Ouch. Like, ouch.
Yeah,
I can feel the burn from here.
I really don't have an argument against it. That's the problem. But I would like to say to him that why can't we be allowed to pretend?
Well, I mean, I disagree with his take on how about we ban first-person shooters. This was in response to the El Paso and Dayton, Ohio thing. So it's like, dude, first-person shooters aren't the fucking problem. It's a societal issue. You really want... I'll go off on a bit of a tangent here. If you really want to get to the core of the issue, and I think I already touched on this, but I'll do it again for fucking argument's sake.
Go ahead.
We have a society where yes, we live in a society where, strong, independent woman, don't need no man. Kids going to daycare, after school programs, pro feminism. Yeah, the far left Saul Alinsky types attacking the nuclear family. How that's misogynist and white supremacy somehow, and archaic, and this and that. And you get these frickin' university professors with their heads in the fucking clouds who don't know a damn thing about what they're fucking talking about. And all the while, at the same time, these kids are fucking in debt. Especially, why are all the white males the ones doing things? Why are you raising all these school shooters? You and the media nonstop attack fucking cis white male people and everything, and they're already disenfranchised and probably grew up in shit households and are, in a shit ton of debt enough as it is. Then they have you types, you fucking assholes, breathing down their fucking necks. What the hell do you expect? You want to know what to blame? It's you types attacking fucking people and pushing them to the point where they just simply, they think fucking the rest of society hates them. They have no friends. They can't find a relationship. They get called incels, which I still think is funny, day by day by day, because they're not falling into the far left progressive narrative. And then they turn around and do something fucking crazy because they want to throw their life away and they're completely disenfranchised, ostracized, and isolated from society. And you're wondering what the fucking problem is and you turn around and blame video games? Get bent. That is the biggest load of crock I've ever heard. Hey, it's a bit of a tangent and a tirade. But yeah, dude, thank you for your service. I'm glad you got them, guys. We got them. But no, video games aren't the fucking problem, dude. You should know this. But it is still funny that the one dude decided to comment, "Who the fuck are you again?" Oh, bro. All it took was one Google search and you'd know who the fuck he is. It doesn't mean his opinion's right, but probably not a good look.
No, it's
oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted to say I gotta head off soon, but I just want to say this final bit. I just hope there can be some sort of sanity restored again, because it's really horrible to see the shit that goes on in the U.S. right now. And
I do agree.
By the way, there's been issued travel warnings to the United States now.
Yeah.
For all visitors. I have never seen that happen before. If it's on our State Department's website, that Norwegian citizens are urged to watch themselves if they go to the United States.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So it's been. I mean, people are saying like, "Fuck, I don't want to go to America. Some random asshole is gonna blow my head off," and it's. Let's just say this: I felt a hell of a lot safer in Bangkok than I probably would in the U.S.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that one video clip that was floating around where a bunch of people in Times Square freaked out because a motorcycle backfired?
Yeah, people are scared. God. Yeah, but it's not even funny because it's people are scared. That's the daily life in the U.S. now. People seem fucking scared.
It's because we've reached a level of hysteria. And again, people are blaming all the wrong things. I mean, yes, we do have societal issues, but if you really want to point the finger at somebody, it's not I mean, to a degree, it's some Republicans, it's some Democrats, but really what it is this divisive society that has taken root ever since the Saul Alinsky political types started taking power in the 60s and 70s, where it's just divisive. And this dumpster fire is constantly getting gasoline thrown on it by the fucking media. And so now everybody is either afraid of getting shot or wants to go out and fucking attack their ideological opponents using violence. It's getting to the point of ridiculousness. It really does need to stop. And it's getting really annoying. Real quick. It's getting really annoying when these talking heads sit there and just blatantly make shit up like, Trump supports white supremacists and the KKK. I can find clip after clip after clip after clip of Trump saying divisiveness and hatred, whether it's white supremacy, the KKK, whatever, doesn't have any place in our society, and yet they keep stoking these same flames of bullshit, trying to fucking divide and trying to divide people to the point where, at this point in time, it's not protest and riots or, Antifa running around or fucking base stickman running around. It's getting to the point where it's not just one random crazy. it's like one random crazy almost every other fucking day. Like, and the sickening part is the mainstream media talking head pundits that are pushing this shit are making money off of it. Like, they have no sympathy for this shit. It's good for their ratings. Like, yeah, we have a lot of problems we need to work out in the society. We really do.
It's been interesting to watch. I mean, it's been interesting to watch this unfold. I'm just hoping you guys can get past it, because it's not gonna. I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But it all depends on what's gonna happen in the next couple of years. Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm
just waiting for the day when Antifa and the white supremacist lunatics, I mean the actual lunatics with weapons, clash.
They have.
Oh God!
Everybody get down. If anyone's listening to this that's in the area of this ever happening, listen to my advice. If you ever see those two groups fighting, get down, cover your head, get under a table or something.
What I found funny is how Antifa became the big boogeyman in the United States. Here in Europe, where they have been the longest, they're morally just seen as rabble rousers. While in America, they are terrifying everybody on the conservative side. It's really funny because Antifa was known as this group of youngsters that would dress in black and wave their banners and then scream and yell and fight with the police for a couple of hours, and then they went home.
That's the thing, because that's the narrative that's pushed here in the States, is that Antifa here in the States is just a non-violent group of people who oppose fascism.
No,
if you oppose fascism, then
no. Hold on. They're not non-violent. I didn't say that, but in Europe they really haven't. I mean, they do the same shit in Europe too, but you have to keep in mind they've been around since the 1930s.
Oh no, what I'm saying is that's how the media over here paints them, as a non-violent group. So everyone thinks they're just another pussy hat wearing protester.
We just call them anarchists here.
I'm going to end the show in 2 minutes, so I'll let you guys speak on this.
Well, we just call them anarchists here, and they protest every time there's some government shit, usually around the G8 meetings or the NATO summits. Then they are protesting. They're it's really weird, but they've been around since the 1930s. We have our own group here in Norway.
Well, yeah, and that's what people here in the States who are aware of what Antifa actually is. They know they're not just anti-fascists. They're a communist. They're a communist collective that was formed to oppose fascism in favor of communism. That's the reason Hitler and Stalin hated each other. Yeah, or not Stalin. I forget who was the Russian person at the time. But there's always been a headbutting between fascism and communism. Just because Antifa is against fascism doesn't mean they're not communist, and most people realize that. But the media tries to paint them as some sort of patriotic group that's pro-American, which they're absolutely not.
That's all they are. They're like how Carl said. They're just wannabe anarchists. I'm not truly afraid of Antifa. Really, I have a milkshake thrown at me.
But I gotta say, there's one group that scares the shit out of me is the militia groups.
Yes, I agree with you there. That's why I'm saying if Antifa clashes with them, or if Antifa picks a fight with them, it will be a bloodbath, and it won't be the militia that'll be dead. Actually, they'll instantly be dead when the SWAT teams arrive, but it'll be the Antifa kids lying in the pools of blood, and that's what I fear. And all the innocent people caught.
You have to remember, for all the talk of Antifa in the United States, it's really funny to think that right-wing militia groups have been responsible for some horrible shit in the States.
Yeah.
I mean, they've taken government personnel hostage. They've shot FBI negotiators. They even, there was this incident a couple of decades ago where they had this huge siege in a farmhouse, and they sent in an FBI investigator, and they blew his goddamn head off. And
the Bundy Ranch.
Yeah, these are people who are armed to the teeth, and genuinely.
So, Carl, I'll answer your previous question. It's not necessarily that we've here in the States, at least, that we view Antifa as this kind of crazy militant group that's going to start going full on Black Panther and policing the streets with locked and loaded or anything. It's their willingness to escalate things and step on the rights of others, go against free speech, Second Amendment, unless, of course, it applies to them, and escalate things to the point where those far-right militia groups decide, you know what, fuck these guys, and it does become a shooting war.
Yeah, and I've been saying this, Antifa won't survive. I know that because, and it's not just going to be Antifa that gets harmed. It's going to be the innocent people that had nothing to do with this, that just want to live their lives. They're going to be the ones hurt in this whole thing.
By the way, quick funny story before we end the stream. An American police officer was fired in Cleveland. He was originally from Norway, and you know why he was fired? He had when he lived in Norway, he had ties to Hell's Angels. He forgot to mention that when he applied to be a police officer. And one criminal investigator in Norway spotted his picture on a Facebook page, and he reported reported it to the police in Cleveland, who promptly fired him.
Whoops.
Yeah, because the Norwegian police authority, the Norwegian police organized crime division, sent down translated copies of the police reports regarding this guy. And
damn, that's one thing. That's one thing I never thought I'd hear. The Norwegian Hell's Angel turned police officer
in Cleveland.
in Cleveland, Ohio.
So yeah, I'll just sum it up like this real quick, as to why we think Antifa is a threat. It is because they're eventually, and honestly, this powder keg might have already been lit. When it goes boom, who the fuck knows?
I will say this. I disagree with you because I don't think they have as much power as I don't think they have as much power as you think they do.
Let him continue. Let him continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is what's going to happen. It will be an instance of someone either on the side of Antifa or on the side of the far right radical militia groups, whatever their ideology might be. Someone's going to do something, and it'll result in someone's death. It'll be someone's dad, someone's uncle, someone's cousin, someo's son or daughter.
It already has happened.
No,
the
Heather Heyer girl, she was run over by a fucking car by a right winger, or not a right winger.
Okay.
And so once that happens, you're going to have someone pissed off who's going to want to take revenge against the other side, and this is going to continue to escalate and escalate and escalate until it gets to the point, and we're sadly already starting to see this. We're literally walking down the street with a sports team hat on your head that just happens to be the color red or color blue is going to be a reason for you to get jumped and put in the hospital or a bullet through your head. And we're starting to see it, and we're seeing it escalate and happen more frequently and more severely. And until that stops, and the snowball's rolling. That's why we feel groups like Antifa are dangerous, because all it takes is a few people to become radicalized to the point where they either want to escalate or they're so angry that they're willing to resort to violence, deadly force if necessary, because they believe they're fighting their ideological opponent, because everything's so politically driven and politically minded that seeing a color is enough to send them into a murder spree, which needs to fucking stop. Trump has been saying this. He's been trying to denounce it, and the media just completely ignores it and spins it in a way that gets them fucking clicks and views. And it's, you want to say blood's on somebody's hands? I'm still pointing at the mainstream media and the Twitter outrage mob types. I don't care what side of the political aisle you fall on.
But anyways, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate that, you guys. I hope Nurgle will come back soon. As soon as he gets internet and tells us what's going on, I hope he comes back.
He's still in the process of moving, so
yeah, he'll come back soon.
Yeah, he should be back next week.
Yeah, he's moving into a whole new house. Like, give him a couple of weeks. Give him a couple of weeks. Let him settle in first.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. You have a good night. I gotta go.
Something I was something I was wanting to say, Doku and Carl, was here in Western Montana about this whole political push thing. This guy is a mental nutcase, but this little boy, they had a road